morning, in fact good afternoon all of you. It's a matter of great pleasure and pride for me to be amongst you, and the best moment for me is always when I am addressing the students, and I never leave an opportunity to address the students in any area of your interest, my interest, and therefore this is a very right moment, because I have been working in the area of mobile computing for last few years, and what I see that in this conference the theme is around mobile the theme is around mobile phones and embedded devices. The speakers before me have already said a lot. The basics have already been covered. I'll be talking about one of the killer application, which is actually an emerging killer application, and that is in the area of mobile commerce. So mobile commerce, as Mr. Sriram has already mentioned, is going to be one of the major application area, and therefore I'll try to give you some understanding of how mobile commerce is used extensively, and what kind of revenue generation is possible through this kind of a model. I plan to introduce the M-Commerce framework to begin with, then the kind of IT infrastructure which is required for deployment of M-Commerce. I'll just give you an idea about some of the software tools and development environment, because you as a student, especially as engineering students, would be required to do some minor projects and major projects. And some of you may like to do some projects related to various software tools which are freely available on the net. And you can probably develop some very interesting assignments in mobile commerce for your own university. So I'll show you some interesting projects which have been done by my own university students in the area of mobile commerce. Then there are some security issues related to M transactions and M payment systems, which I don't know whether due to paucity of time I'll be able to cover. Then the concept of e-cash and e-wallet. Like my previous speaker just mentioned, that when you leave home, you just check up for your wallet, the first thing that you check up, and then you check up for your mobile phone. But if you use the concept of e-wallet, then the mobile phone can act as an e-wallet also. You can make payment through using a mobile phone, and you can even make payment using, you can clear checks, M-checks, using your own WIM. Instead of a SIM, what we have is a WIM, that is wireless identification module. SIM stands for subscribers identification module. So if your mobile phone has a WIM card instead of a SIM card, then you can even make payment using a mobile phone. So I'll try to cover as much as possible within the given time frame. So starting with my introduction of mobile commerce, I would just briefly tell you about the concept behind it, because you all are familiar with e-commerce activities. You have been doing e-commerce day in and day out, using your home computers, using your desktop computers, using your laptops. And that is, I'm sure many of you must be doing online shopping. You must be booking tickets online, and many of you must be doing mobile banking. So these applications are very, very popular, very common these days, and most of these applications are done using a laptop or a desktop. Now mobile commerce simply encourages, it simply migrates all these applications from your desktop, which has a large screen, which has a very high computing power, a QWERTY keyboard. They just migrate all these applications from your laptop or desktop to a mobile phone. So that is what is M-Commerce all about. That is, all the activities, all commercial activities which you perform using a desktop or laptop, they get migrated to a mobile phone. So it simply enables e-commerce activities in mobile context. And this uses mobile technology to sell, buy items, access business information, conduct transaction, and so on. So more and more such applications are now coming up, and although in India people are still very, very reluctant to use mobile banking, mobile ticketing using a phone because of security issues, but in other countries, with the proliferation of 3G networks, 4G networks, this kind of M transactions and M commerce has already kicked off, and that too since 2006. Since 2006, 3G networks have picked up momentum in other countries, whereas we have missed that bus. And in 2010, we are thinking of spectrum allocation for 3G communication. So maybe there is a thought of leapfrogging straight to the 4G technologies, because we have already missed that 3G bus, which has already been launched in so many other countries way back in 2006. So that is another reason why in our country we have not been able to have many mobile commerce applications, and because of the network, the bandwidth which is supported by the mobile phone presently. So basically mobile commerce is nothing but it's a fusion of two current consumer technologies, mobile communication and e-commerce. And in mobile commerce, what we do, we make use of any kind of public or private network to transact for business transaction anytime, anywhere. That is, we are moving towards U phase. U phase stands for ubiquity. That is, ubiquitous computing environment is something that we are looking forward to. And the device that we are using is a mobile computer, a palm top, PDA, and all your mobile phones these days are getting more and more powerful with more computing power, more memory, and many other applications like GPS enabled navigation facilities and so on and so forth. As far as public networks are concerned, we are mostly dependent on GSM, GPRS, CDMA networks, and the 3G technologies would support WCDMA and UMTS. And Docomo is already, it has already reached our country, and Docomo supports WCDMA technology. So that way we are on the threshold of launching a lot of mobile commerce application because of the kind of network that is available. And as far as private networks are concerned, as long as you are inside your campus, mostly these days the campuses are Wi-Fi enabled or wireless campuses. So when you are covered under a Wi-Fi hotspot, then you tend to use a private network. The private network which is managed by your university, which is owned by your university, and therefore it is known as private network. But as soon as you move out of the coverage of the private network, the moment you leave your campus, you are connected, your mobile phone is connected to the public network, which is a GSM network, GPRS network, or 3G, which is in the pipeline. Now, this for any mobile commerce application to take off, you would require seamless connectivity between these public as well as private networks, and you would like an all connected kind of a situation. That is, as soon as you're moving out of the coverage area of your private network from your campus, you would like to remain connected immediately to the cellular network, or even WiMAX network, which is a broadband long distance network, long haul network. So that is the kind of future that we are seeing in times to come. There are technology enablers which I have already talked about, that is GSM, CDMA, the wireless networks which are already existing, the legacy networks, and the future networks that are in the pipeline like 3G, 4G. Apart from that, the mobile devices, as long as they are connected to the private network, they are either connected using Wi-Fi or connecting Bluetooth or infrared digital association, IRDA. And most of the mobile devices these days, they have dual RF interface or even multiple RF interfaces. So these mobile devices can connect to, they have connectivity for Wi-Fi devices, for Wi-Fi interface, they can be connected to cellular network, and the future mobile devices will also be WiMAX compliant. So that is the kind of enablers we are seeing in the area of mobile commerce technology. And then as far as the computing powers is concerned, the most of the mobile phones, in fact 98% of mobile phones are built around a very powerful small processor called ARM. So ARM processors are generally used, and this ARM processor, ARM processors are like the heart of a mobile phone. And initially it was developed by Qualcomm, but in India, ST Microelectronics, Cadence, they are also involved in the designing of these ARM processors around which the mobile phones are built. So these ARM processors are the CPU of the mobile phone, and these CPUs are making your mobile phone more and more powerful and enhancing the computing power of your mobile devices. Then some of the applications of M-commerce which you have been experiencing for several years is like M-entertainment and information services. Like you have been downloading ringtones, caller tunes, wallpapers, screensavers. These are nothing but simple applications of mobile commerce. And what you do is simply pay a small amount, like rupees 30 per month or rupees 10 for downloading a wallpaper, or for looking at the horoscope or cricket score. So some form of mobile commerce has already been there with us for in the last 4 to 5 years. But many applications, and these applications, the ones which are existing, are using some kind of micro payment. Micro payment means a small amount of payment like 30 rupees per month for a caller tune, which gets clubbed with your mobile phone bill. So right now the kind of applications prevalent in India involve only micropayments, but the major applications like mobile banking, mobile ticketing, mobile shopping, digital wallet, they have not yet been launched in India. However, M-advertising, location-based services, all these applications are very much under use. And we have latest Nokia, Siemens devices which are supporting GPS-enabled location-based service. Some of the limitations of mobile commerce we see is that are generally governed by the limitation of mobile devices. However, these limitations are being overcome because now your mobile phones, your mobile devices are becoming more and more powerful, because that heart, the chip, the CPU of your mobile phone, ARM processor, is becoming more and more powerful. So it has got more computational power as compared to the previous mobile phones. And since they are being mass produced, therefore the cost is also coming down for even advanced versions of mobile phone. The network coverage is quite limited. However, we see more and more network cellular towers coming up even in remote areas and villages these days. But when you are traveling by car, by road from one city to another, there are certain zones which are called dark spots where you do not receive any network and your mobile service goes down for a short period of time. So then again, low bandwidth. Low bandwidth is a problem only with GSM as well as GPRS. However, with 3G services or 4G services being launched in India, bandwidth will no longer be a constraint. Security issues once again are a major problem, because when you are typing your credit card number, because once you do M-commerce using a mobile device, then you have to part with your vital information like credit card numbers, your PIN numbers, your bank account numbers, and so on and so forth. So there is still certain amount of skepticism among users of the mobile devices to give these kind of vital information, personal information on the mobile phone, because of lack of security, lack of encryption techniques. However, there were certain companies like Certicom which have introduced their own security certificates for M-commerce in other countries, and there are WLTLS Plus Toolkit, TLS Plus Toolkit, which ensures channel security, and it also ensures security at the application layer level. So however, in India we still do not have security issues addressed well. lack of killer application as the bandwidth. Maybe I think it is a 3G revolution sees a lot of emergence of killer applications because of availability of bandwidth, which is likely to go up to 2 megabits per second, and an attractive user interface. On a desktop, you have a big screen and a very interesting user interface is available. But a mobile phone has a small screen with a small resolution, and therefore it is very, very difficult to find creative people who can build attractive user interfaces. Then lack of content providers. You need to have content writers who create applications dedicated for mobile devices. So with these few things, I would like to conclude by mentioning some of the technology enablers like next generation networks and devices. With these devices and networks, we see a great future for mobile commerce in our country because high data transfer rates are supported by Edge, UMTS, 3G technologies, DOCOMO, WCDMA, and the always-on facility for audio-video streaming content. Similarly, the mobile phones are getting more and more powerful. The mobile phones have JVM support. Most of these Nokia telephones these days have Java virtual machine running on them, and the programming can be done using J2ME, Java 2 Micro Edition. And similarly, PKI support will enhance security levels. It will address the security issues. So therefore, with these technology enablers, we see a very bright future in the area of mobile commerce in our country. So with this, I would like to conclude my talk, and thank you very much.